welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm sharing a story that still sends chills down my spine. It all started with a simple visit to a fortune teller, a woman who warned me about a swift and unexpected encounter. I thought she was just being dramatic, but what unfolded was a nightmare beyond anything I could have imagined. This is my fortune teller's horror story, and it's a warning to anyone searching for love. The chipped porcelain teacup warmed my hands, a paltry comfort against the chill that had settled deep in my bones. Across the table, Madame Evangeline, a woman whose age was as shrouded in mystery as her supposed abilities, smiled a knowing, unsettling smile. My reflection in her polished brass tea warmer showed a woman etched with loneliness, sharp lines around my eyes, a faint tremor in my smile. 32 years old, and my love life resembled a barren desert. Desperation, a bitter herb I'd been steadily cultivating, had finally driven me to this dimly lit parlor, to this woman who claimed to speak to the spirits. Before her lay an ancient deck, the tarot cards well worn, as though they had borne witness to untold stories and harbored secrets no mortal should ever dare unveil. Her hands, impossibly delicate, moved with a practiced grace. As she shuffled the cards, a peculiar murmur seemed to rise from them, a whisper of otherworldly origin swirling in the tense air. Her slender fingers worked their magic, the cards bending and folding smoothly between them, forming a mesmerizing tapestry of fate and foresight. Suddenly, the shuffling stopped. With a flourish, she spread the cards across the worn velvet tablecloth. "You yearn for connection, my dear," Madame Evangeline had crooned, her voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "A deep, abiding love. The cards, they show a meeting, a swift and unexpected encounter. But be wary, child. Not all encounters are blessed." I'd scoffed internally. Blessed? My encounters had mostly consisted of awkward dates and even more awkward goodbyes. But a seed of hope, foolish and desperate perhaps, had taken root. And then, he appeared. Elias. Tall, dark, intensely handsome. We met at the local bookstore, a chance encounter amidst the towering shelves. He'd been browsing the poetry section, a worn copy of Neruda clutched in his hand. He introduced himself, his voice a low rumble that sent shivers down my spine, a reaction I attributed to nervous excitement. He was charming, intelligent, attentive. He remembered details about me, things I hadn't even mentioned, like my fondness for Earl Grey tea and my childhood love for Jane Austen. Flowers arrived on my doorstep, handwritten notes tucked into their fragrant petals, sonnets praising my beauty, my wit, my very essence. He knew things about my life that only people close to me should know. It was intoxicating. For the first time in my life, I felt seen, truly seen. My insecurities, the gnawing fear that I was destined to spend my days alone, began to melt away. I fell hard and fast. Too fast, I now realize, with a sickening lurch in my stomach. The first red flag was subtle, a flicker of unease I dismissed as jealousy. He'd become possessive, subtly questioning my friendships, my late nights at the library, even the casual conversations I had with the barista at my favorite coffee shop. He'd inquire about my whereabouts with an intensity that edged on accusation. Then came the gifts. Not the beautiful flowers, but strange, unsettling things. A single, perfectly formed raven's feather left on my doorstep one morning. A small, intricately carved wooden doll that bore an uncanny resemblance to me. A framed photograph of my apartment building, taken from across the street at night. I could see my window, the faint glow of my lamp. I tried to rationalize these oddities. He was romantic, yes, perhaps a little unconventional, but utterly devoted. I told myself I was overreacting, a victim of my own anxieties. But the unease deepened, a slow, creeping dread that clung to me like a second skin. One evening, I found him waiting for me outside my apartment building. He wasn't waiting casually, but with a simmering intensity that made my blood run cold. His eyes, usually warm and captivating, were now dark, almost predatory. He offered me a chilling smile, his hand lingering on my arm with unusual force. That night he didn't just follow me home, he watched me from the shadows on my street. I could feel his gaze like a cold hand on my back. The next day I discovered a hidden camera in my apartment, cleverly disguised amongst the books on my bookshelf. A cold terror washed over me. This wasn't romance, this was obsession, pure and unadulterated stalking. I deactivated my social media accounts, changed my phone number, avoided the bookstore. I considered calling the police, but a part of me, a shameful part, hesitated. What would they think? A successful woman, driven to seek answers from a fortune teller, now entangled in a stalker's web. The fear of judgment, of being dismissed as hysterical, kept me paralyzed. Then came the notes. Not the poetic love letters, but short, chilling messages slipped under my door. I know where you are, one read. You can't escape me. Another depicted a crude drawing of myself, bound and gagged. The final straw came last night. I woke to the sound of glass shattering. Someone was inside my apartment. I froze, heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. It was Elias. His face was contorted in a mask of rage, madness glittering in his eyes. You can't run, he hissed, his voice a venomous whisper. You belong to me. I screamed, a primal scream of terror that ripped through the silence. I fought back, clawing, kicking, scrambling to escape. I managed to knock him to the ground, grabbed my phone and called 911, my voice trembling. The police arrived quickly, arresting Elias, his face a mixture of shock and disbelief. The interrogation revealed a disturbing pattern of obsession. He'd been watching me for months, meticulously tracking my movements, gathering information, building his warped reality. He confessed to planting the cameras, sending the unsettling gifts, to feeding his obsession with me. He hadn't just been infatuated, he had been consumed by me. In the aftermath, the police told me, it's a miracle you're alive. I didn't know if it was a miracle or a curse. I survived my encounter with Elias, but the fear still lingers, the echo of his madness lingering in my mind. I'm safe now, surrounded by friends and family, but the memory of those chilling eyes, those whispered threats, remains. Madame Evangeline's warning echoes in my head. Not all encounters are bliss. She was right. She was terrifyingly right. And the chilling realization haunts me, that the true horror wasn't the stalker, but the desperate hope that led me to him. The hope that whispered that someone, anyone, would finally see me, and love me. A hope that almost cost me my life. Not all encounters are blessed. Those words still send shivers down my spine. Madame Evangeline's warning wasn't just about fate, it was about the dangers we ignore when we want something too badly. I wanted love, connection, to feel seen. But in my desperation, I overlooked the signs, dismissed the unease, convinced myself that intensity was passion, that possession was devotion. And that mistake almost cost me everything. If there's one thing I've learned from this, it's that love should never feel like fear. Real love doesn't make you doubt your safety. It doesn't make you question your instincts. And it certainly doesn't watch from the shadows, waiting to consume you. So, to anyone listening, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And never let loneliness push you into the arms of something dangerous. Because sometimes, the scariest thing isn't the monster in the dark, it's the voice inside us that refuses to see it. Stay safe. Stay aware. And remember, not all encounters are blessed. Hey, horror fans. If you enjoyed our chilling tale and want to keep the spine-tingling stories coming, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support keeps the darkness alive. Share this video with your friends, let's spread the fear together. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss a hair-raising moment. Join our community of thrill seekers and prepare for more eerie adventures. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay scared.